Rhinoplasty, lip filler, cheek implants, chin implant, jaw shave, brow bone reduction, buccal fat removal, Botox, and eye lift.
Fiddle Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is my favorite game of all time. I have played it 4 times before and now 5 with the newest remaster. When the news of the remaster hit, I could not stop thinking about it. When the first trailer dropped, I thought it looked gorgeous, but some people were to point out how overly bright the environments were. Cutting to now, after all the other trailers were shown for the game, I still had hope that this would do my favorite game justice. After playing it though, with all the enhancements that the remaster has done, I think even then I'm still gonna stick to the original. This game was ported to the Maiden of Blackwater engine, and as beautiful as that game was, I think it ruins the atmosphere here. All the environments look so incredibly blue and bright.
Comparing it side by side, it looks like two completely different games.
The original has an abandoned, haunting feeling to it, the darkness inflicting dread into the player as they explore. The remaster makes you not scared at all, at least from my experience, and it makes it look like this place is still in business. The blue takes over all the dark atmosphere and it's blindingly distracting.
Again, here you can see how they kind of ruined the overall atmosphere of Madoka's room. It used to be like a very lamp-lit, orange, yellowish room, dimly lit, but now it's all bright and blue. Yay, I love blue. Even if you could like notice there, you could like see how now grabbing or touching Madoka looks less smooth, or even taking her photo when it transitions to her as a child looks less smooth. I don't know what they did, but it made it look worse. The ghosts all received model reworks, and most of them look better than they did before, but some of them have lost some of their best aspects due to overly white skin. The nurse here is not the worst example, but here you can see how this ghost blends to the background and you can't really see like all their features and it leads you up to be scared by your imagination. But now it's like they're just a pale white ghost and they look fake and out of place. Ayako just doesn't look creepy here. It looks like she has makeup on, and but in the original, she looked like she had a more dead feeling to her, and that definitely added more to the atmosphere and feeling of this whole game. Here's just some one-to-one gameplay comparing the two games, and you can definitely see how definitely blue the remaster is compared to this one, and also how big and distracting the battle hut is, including all the spirit orbs that fly out of the ghosts. It's so distracting and it breaks so much of the immersion. Even locking onto ghosts was kind of nullified, not in gameplay sense, but just when you in the Wii version when you locked on, you were so close to their face and you didn't really see their weird animations, but now in the remaster you see them leaning back so far and it looks awkward. See, I found the ghost at the exact same time as the remaster, but the remaster ghost did not like creepily turn its head towards me or anything. It just stood still. One other thing I would like to note here is like when you get grabbed, you used to have that cool effect of like everything shaking, but now when you get grabbed, it's just more noise, and I love noise, but it just doesn't have the feeling of the original. This happens on the text too. Whenever you click off a text, it used to have this doubleness to it, where it like kind of faded out, but it got bigger at the same time, and now it just fades out. The smooth movement in the original was my highest praised. I have used the original Wiimote controls and emulating a Wiimote with my Xbox controller. The Xbox controller fixes any problem you would have with the Wii remote and makes it such an enjoyable experience. With the new remaster, Koei Tecmo decided to introduce a new movement system, and it feels so clunky. The flashlight mechanic is ruined as well. Sometimes it's just so hard to discover an item you're staring directly at, while in the original, it wasn't an issue at all. There are some tricks you can do like strafe walking to search a room, but why should I need to do that when the controls should be more fluent than emulating the Wii remote itself. One of my biggest issues with Made in Blackwater was that most of the effects in the game just cut out with no fade. I never had this pain in the Wii version of Mask of Lunar Eclipse, but they seem to have added this problem to the remaster, and it looks terrible, and it ruins immersion. But another thing that they added that ruins immersion is the weird camera pans that they do when you pick up an item. Wii version, it looks so smooth and the camera stays on the last frame of the picking up animation and smoothly just transitions back to standing up once you're done. Why they changed this in the remaster, I have no idea. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves playing that game right now. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the character model reworks for the main characters. So everyone except for the dude, so Ruka, Maruka, and Misaki, their new models look really good. But when you compare them to the original game, it really shows how much emotion they're lacking in this newest remaster. And it makes some cutscenes look weird and make you feel uncomfortable, like in the one I showed earlier with the ghost who is really white and stands out from the background. We just see Misaki backing up but like puckering her lips, and it's so awkward to me at least. But in the original she looked terrified. Her eyes are wider here, her mouth opens more, her eyebrows actually move. It just looks great. Another example is when Madoka in the beginning is like being surrounded by all the ghosts and she starts cowering on the ground and she has her hand on her mouth or her chin. She keeps it there, but she also looks scared. In the remaster, she just looks more confused than anything. Like, hello, these three ghosts are gonna jump me right now. What should I do? And she does like this weird finger gun thing on her mouth. Why? Why did they change that? I don't get it, but it looks bad. So I don't like hate everything in this remaster. There are some things that I really love. I love all of the new pre-rendered cutscenes. They look great. Like how Masaki's face is blooming right here. That looks so much better than the original. And she's expressive here. Why couldn't she be in the actual game? But this is things I love. So then the models themselves, they look really great, even if they might not be expressive. And all the textures they redid, they look amazing. All the puzzles, all the items that you pick up, they look great. And I really love it. Another thing I love is all the noise they added. One thing about me, I love as much noise as I can get. And the fact that they did so much with it here, it looks fantastic and it helps the aesthetic of these games so greatly. I wish they could have had a toggleable option to turn it off like they do have in the photo mode for people who don't like noise, because I do understand that there are some people who really don't like it, but at least for me, I love how it looks. They did a really good job with it. Overall, I love the Wii version of Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, but this remaster is such a disappointment for me. From the environments being ruined to characters being less expressive, I see little reason for me to play this over the original. I'm assuming they're going to port over Deep Crimson Butterfly from the Wii next, and I would hate to see it faced with the same issues as here. I paid $70 for this digital deluxe version of Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, and I honestly regret it. Fatal Frame is my favorite gaming franchise of all time, and even holds my favorite game of all time. But they really made the remaster of it such a letdown.
誰も覚えていないことは存在しないことになるのだろうか。私には小さい頃の記憶がない。私たちが神隠しにあった以前のことは何も